should we put it on indestructible just because it's unstoppable? The death touch or the trample will be good here too. Let's go trample. Land, scry, land can go. Our 8/8 can attack. Let's gain 3 life. That's going to trigger our Heliod. And we can put another counter on it. Big blocks. I don't even know. Just let the computer do it. I'm pretty sure we just get them all. Right, and then we still do 8 damage. It's a lot through the remembrance, but it's okay. It's okay. We still have access to life gain right away. Hey everybody, welcome back, and thanks for taking some time out of your day to watch Hello Good Game and play some Magic the Gathering Arena with me today. We have a very special, a brand new original deck that no one's done before. This is the first time you'll ever see it. This deck focuses around Embercleave. And now I know what you're saying. Well, I've seen Embercleave plenty, but have you ever seen it like this? Faeburrow Elder is a 0/0 with vigilance. It gets +1/+1 for each color among permanents that you control. We can tap it. For each color among permanents you control, add 1 mana of that color. So this seems weird. We're not running a 5-color deck. We don't need to abuse it that badly. We're just running Naya with Keruga, which can potentially bring it to 4 colors, but you know, that's pretty late game, and if we're doing it that late, then you know, it's a weird situation, and we can probably organically cast the Cleave anyways. However, you can cheat it out. The vigilance means that you can attack, drop the cost of the Cleave, and then tap the creature for mana, putting the Cleave onto it. So we're able to push our Cleave out very, very early. The Elder is 2 colors automatically, right? So it's tapping for 2 colors if you don't have a red permanent on the field. And then there's a couple other ways to kind of cheat and move our mana around within the deck to make sure that we're being able to cast the Cleave as well. You know, the Heart of Keld allows us to play lands from the top of our library, and then Cloth, God of Destiny, can exile lands from the graveyards to produce a red or green mana source. We can't use this mana to cast with Flash, however, we can still use it to cheat down the price, main phase, and get the Cleave on the field. So other than that, it is a Vigilance tribal-based deck. I want to call it Hyper Vigilance or Rise of the Elders, something like this, because it's not only Embercleave that we can cheat out with our Faeburrow Elder, which is amazing. This is such a sleeper. I don't know why nobody's using this card. It is great, and even better now that Teferi 3 is gone, so it's not going to be being bounced as much. Yes, Lucky Clover and Brazen Borrower's Petty Theft does exist, and this is the new bane of all of our existences. However, you know, the Faeburrow Elder tapping for 2 to 3 mana in addition for us is a great way to cheat out Elder Gargaroth. We can get this guy in play early, right? Which is amazing. Consistent turn 4 Gargaroths, easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Off of 3 lands, you get your 3 land, you play your Elder, tap your Elder. For 2, you've got 3, boom, there's your Gargaroth as early as turn 4. Now, yes, you can get it out earlier, but as far as consistency goes with not having the land, there's far fewer better ways than this. So, you know, that's the general overview of the deck. If you are interested in skipping the deck tech, just jump down to the description below and there will be a timestamp, or even in the chapters on the little red slider bar, you can just slide over to the gameplay, because as always, we take a look at the deck list in its entirety, breaking down each and every individual card. Then we're going to talk deck tech, the strategies, the synergies involved within this deck. How do all of those individual cards come together to form a really nice, well-oiled machine, coherent archetype, if you will, that can compete within the meta. Next up, we have our gameplay footage, where we're going to break down all of the playlines and interactions between, you know, this Naya / 4-color Elder Cleave deck. I don't know what we want to call it. Elder Cleave might be good. Right, because it's not enough to know how it works in general. Like, yes, we can cheat out the Cleave and we can cheat out the Gargaroth, but you need to know what other decks you're going to be engaging with within its the meta or the environment that it's in, because it's not always the same play lines with the different decks. There's different strategies for all of the different interactions. So we're going to do our best to break down as many of those as we can for you today. We're going to witness, a ton of misplays by this guy, but this is a learning channel, and while making 2 new decks every day, the principles and stuff are all there, but in the moment, sometimes things get away from us. So do enjoy that aspect of it. Make sure to comment below if you want to share my misplays. Try to do it constructively though, right? And more so if I don't point it out, because within my videos, I always try to point out the misplays so you guys can learn from them. And then in the end, we'll talk about the common misplays within the deck so you guys can try to limit your own misplays, right? Increase your win rate through my mistakes. That's the greatest way. The sacrifice is all mine. And then we've got our closing thoughts, which we talked about, our future content plans for the channel, etc., etc., etc. So before we get into the deck list, I have to remind you guys, I'm live on YouTube every morning at 6 a.m. at 7 to 7:30. As soon as the YouTube live ends, we switch over to Twitch. We're live there to 5 to 8 hours, well into the afternoon. And then I take a couple hours off for lunch and I go walk my cats and stuff. And at 6 p.m., we're back on YouTube for another hour and a half. So check out some content. If this isn't your dig, we've got a ton of it. We have our 500,000 gem giveaway. There's like 350,000 gems left to give away. So make sure you subscribe to the channel, share it to a friend so nobody's missing out and everybody's being able to get in on that. Anywho, let's get right into the deck list here. We've got Keruga, the Macrosage, as our companion. When you have a companion in your deck, you have to follow a set of deck building rules. In Keruga's case, your starting deck contains only cards with converted mana cost 3 or greater and land cards. When Keruga the Macrosage enters the battlefield, draw a card for each other permanent you control with converted mana cost 3 or greater. So this is just a great late game draw engine. No 1-drops, no 2-drops, kind of a bummer. So the early game interactions, not quite there, but we do make up for it quite quickly. And then, like I said, no 1-drops, no 2-drops, into our 3-drops immediately. We already addressed Faeburrow Elder for 3. It's a 0/0 with vigilance. It gets +1/+1 for each color among permanents you control, so it enters really as a 2/2 because, it's a green and white Selesnya colors. And then we can tap it for each color among permanents you control, add 1 mana of that color. So again, we can immediately tap it. Not immediately, the Summoning Sickness does have to leave, but we'll be able to tap it for a green source and a white source on the following turn. And if we play, our Heart of Keld, now we can play for 3 mana, right? Which is pretty cool. And unless you get Keruga in play, that's as much mana as you will get from the Elder is 3. But still, 3 free mana every turn is like pretty good, right? And then if you can get that to 4, you're laughing. But you'll run out of stuff to play. That's a lot of mana. Anywho, we've got 3 copies of Alert Heedbonder. Now this is a 2/4 with Vigilance, and at the beginning of your end step, you gain 1 life for each creature you control with Vigilance. 4 copies of the Heart of Keld, a 3/3, and as long as it's your turn, Radha Heart of Keld has first strike. You may look at the top card of your library anytime, and you may play lands from the top of your library. Groovy. Whenever you get to play any cards not from your hand, this is a way to build virtual card advantage and will really help you get the edge over your opponents. Cleave, God of Destiny. We only have 2 copies of this because there's not really a need for more. It's a 4/5 with Indestructible as long as your devotion to red and green is less than 7. Cleave isn't a creature, and at the beginning of pre-combat main phase, exile target card from graveyard. If it was a land card, add a red or green mana source. Otherwise, you gain 2 life and deal 2 damage to each opponent. So, the life gain is super nice here because we don't have those early game drops, so our opponent's probably going to get some aggro damage in. This will offset this. It also does chip damage for us, which is really cool. And then, like I mentioned right at the beginning, we can cheat out some of our more expensive spells, which the deck is full of, via exiling a land card from a graveyard. We also have 3 copies of Heliod Suncrowned. Now, I wanted to run Shadow Spear, but we can't run it with Keruga. So we run Heliod instead. It's a 5/5 with Indestructible as long as it's as long as your devotion is less than 5. Heliod isn't a creature. And whenever you gain life, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature or enchantment you control. We can also pay 2 to give another target creature lifelink until end of turn. And that's really, really nice. So there's some nice synergies that we're going to talk about in a second with that. Into our 4-drops, only 2 copies of Basri's Lieutenant. This is just kind of like a spice card that fits quite well with it. a 3/4 with vigilance, so you can see why. Protection from multicolored. When Basri's lieutenant enters the battlefield, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature you control. Whenever Basri's lieutenant or another creature you control dies, if it had a +1/+1 counter on it, create a 2/2 white knight creature token with vigilance. 3 copies of Gemrazor. Oh, Lucky Clover is everywhere. We actually played a few matches in the deck before adding Gemrazor, and it was just so frustrating always having that Clover on the field and not having an answer. And it's a much more friendly play experience, even if you still lose, just knowing that the fact that you have an answer in your deck and you just have to find it. So Gemrazor is a 4/4 with reach and trample, mutate for 3. When this creature mutates, destroy target artifact or enchantment an opponent controls. So this is great for so many reasons. Not only does it have reach and trample, it's a 4/4 body, and it can destroy artifacts and enchantments. So this is kind of like an umbrella for green. This does a little bit of everything for us. 4 copies of Questing Beast. I'm sure you know this card by now. It's a 4/4 with vigilance, death touch, and haste. Cannot be blocked by creatures with power 2 or less. Combat damage that would be dealt by creatures you control cannot be prevented. And whenever Questing Beast deals combat damage to an opponent, it deals that much damage to target planeswalker that player controls as well. We have our Frondland Felidar. This is a 3/5 with vigilance, and creatures you control with vigilance have pay 1 plus tapping themselves to tap like another target creature. Probably your opponents, into our 5 drops. 2 copies of Vivien's Monsters Advocate, a 3/3 legendary planeswalker. Some nice static abilities here. You may look at the top card of your library at any time. You may cast creature spells from the top of your library. +1, create a 3/3 green beast creature token with either vigilance, reach, or trample on it. -2, whenever you cast your next creature spell this turn, search your library for a creature card with lesser converted mana cost and put it into the battlefield. 3 copies of Elder Gargaroth. This is a 6/6 with reach, trample, and vigilance. Whenever it attacks or blocks, choose 1, create a 3/3 token, gain 3 life, or draw a card. We also have our 3 copies of Embercleave for 6 flash, costing 1 less to cast for each attacking creature we control. When Embercleave enters the battlefield, attach it to target creature we control, and equipped creature gets +1/+1, has double strike and trample. And then once it's organically on the field, we can re-equip it to something else for 3. These spells are accompanied by 3 Fable Passages, 3 Temple of Plenties, 3 Temple of Triumphs, 3 Temple of Abandon, 6 Forests, 3 Mountains, and 3 Plains. We're playing best of 1 today, so the only card in our sideboard is Keruga, which is kind of where your companion lives within the deck. That's the deck list. Let's break down now some of the strategies and synergies found within the deck. And now, I think I did a fairly good job at overviewing this at the start of the video. However, to recap, we're trying to put out Embercleave as quickly as possible. And we're doing this via our Faeburrow Elder, in which it can attack, reduce the cost of Embercleave, and then tap for mana, reducing its cost even further. So Faeburrow Elder and Embercleave is my go-to move here. If this isn't an option, we can also use our Faeburrow Elder to cheat out our Elder Gargaroth, which is a pretty groovy play as well. And then, maybe we get the Cleave on Gargaroth later on and go about it that way. That's the primary objective to win you matches, right? We have a few spice ingredients within the brew here. The first is the vigilance. You notice that the Elder has vigilance, the Heedbonder has vigilance, the Frondland has vigilance, Questing Beast has vigilance, Basri has vigilance, and Gargaroth has vigilance. So a ton of vigilance in the deck. You can go as far as calling this a vigilance tribal build. I try to stay away from the tribal builds because normally they're not good, and this one is good. I'm really liking this. We might experiment without Keruga and then try incorporating some lower cost creatures and trim that curve back a little bit, and that's going to help us add more mana earlier on to our Faeburrow, but that's a different deck. Stay tuned for that. So Alert Heedbonder takes advantage of all of this vigilance. At the beginning of your end step, you gain 1 life for each creature you control with vigilance. So this is multiple triggers. They trigger all differently, not at once. So it's not like you gain 7 life, 1 trigger. It's like you gain 1 life, you gain 1 life, you gain 1 life. All triggers on the stack. Pretty cool when combined with Heliod Suncrowned. Whenever you gain life, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature or enchantment you control. So we will be able to put +1/+1s on everything that we have on the field with vigilance. And then Basri's Lieutenant, whenever anything with a +1/+1 counter on it dies, we get to create a 2/2 knight with vigilance. Again, more vigilance, more life gain, more tokens on everything. That's a pretty awesome secondary condition. Lots of decks just rely on the Embercleave. That's fine. Not this deck. We've got a ton of damage output, we have a ton of life gain, and we have a ton of field presence. This is a-okay on all fronts. You know, there's not a lot of removal. There's no field wipes, right? Which is a form of removal. But decks are a trade-off. You can never see a deck with all 5s. There has to be a give and take because not everything fits in perfectly. And then if it does, you're not at 5s out of 5s. You've come down and you're running, 3s and 2s and 4s, and it's kind of like a mediocre build. It's impossible to be 100% on all fronts. So this is really just focusing on outvaluing your opponent. Okay, so we talked about the vigilance, how it's going to not only cheat out your Embercleave with the Elder, but it's going to gain you life through the Heedbonder, which triggers Heliod, which then triggers the effectiveness of Basri. So there's a nice little chain reaction that all fits together there. Say your opponent, by some miracle, is flooding the field just as efficiently as you. Now we have our Frondland. Creatures you control with vigilance, which, is the majority of them, as we've seen, can pay 1, tap themselves to tap the creatures. If your opponent has lethal creatures that you can't block, you tap them. They can attack, right? Now the attackers can attack into your defenders. They die, right? You're only tapping the ones that are a threat to you. His end phase, or their end phase, I should say. Boom, you tap the rest of their creatures that would now block you this turn. You have vigilance. You smash in, right? And you get to repeat that process over and over again. So the Frondland is another sleeper. We have the Elder, 100% sleeper. I don't know why people aren't using this. The same goes with the Frondland. Yes, prone to removal. There's no Teferis, and in the right matchup, these cards win games pretty aggressively. We've got removal through Questing Beast for the artifacts and enchantments. A little bit, right? The Heart of Keld, playing land from the top of our library. I talked about virtual card advantage. This is how you gain it, by not playing your hand out. The same goes through Vivien. So we can play creatures from the top, we can play lands from the top, and we can keep our hand nice and healthy in case our opponent does have some of these field wipes, which again, we've talked about, we recover from very well thanks to Basri. With that all being said, I think that's it. Elder Gargaroth can do what he does, whether you need tokens, life, or drawing more cards. Any of those is fine. And, you could potentially even buff up your Heart of Keld through the Faeburrow quite easily once you've started tapping your opponent's creatures. No trample on the Heart of Keld, normally a bummer. Not a bummer for us here today because we can tap our opponent's defenders, and then the Heart of Keld can smash for huge damage. Get the cleave on that girl, use her ability, and Blizdo Blasto. Goodbye, GG's. That's it, you guys. Thanks for watching. A huge shout out to our financial support on Twitch, Patreon, YouTube. If you want to get in on it and become some of the founding members that allowed me to go full-time with this venture for everybody, doing multiple videos a day, putting in 10 plus hours every day for you guys, you're welcome to do so. Links in the link tree description below. Not only will it take you to those potential options through the Patreon, Twitch, and YouTube, you can also just follow me on all of those platforms as well, and then you're notified whenever some new content comes out. You don't have to pay attention to the time conversions or when I'm live. It just makes everything a lot easier and friendlier. So big shout out and thank you to every one of my supporters making this possible. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Enjoy today's gameplay footage. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell, all the jazz. We'll see you guys in a few minutes for our closing thoughts. Don't forget to watch to the end because we've got some very special news. So this is weird. The land is good, but not for the Heart of Keld. If we can pull a mountain, this gets a lot less stressful, but it's going to be weird and slow. There we go. Okay, that's much better. Clover, big surprise. I don't think we need to be tapping any creatures yet. So we know that petty theft is an option. Right? We've already played a land, so we're not playing from the top. And, you know, there may be a double Bone Crusher. Just a Mystical Dispute. Interesting. Wow. Okay, so that's unexpected. Into a Fae. What would they take at this point? Storm's Wrath. Okay, we know exactly how to bait that out. There should be the Wrath if he can pull another mountain. We're just doing it again, though. Building to our Gargaroth. Another mountain, and we've got our Cleave. We could Cleave before Mythos hits, which we won't, because he'll wipe the field with Wrath here. What? They don't want to trade. I will. Hopefully, no petty theft. Back to the sideboard. Unsummon for 1. Oh, the 8/8 Sea God. For 7 mana. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh no. 7, I'm sure. We need a second red source. We need the mana instead. Let's draw. 2 damage in. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Here comes the 8/8. Which we will be able to cleave through. Not doing it. What? Not playing the 8/8. Instead looking for petty thefts. This makes sense to me. Oh, we don't have a red permanent in play, actually. But I think if we double Gargaroth, we should be in a better position. We would need Cloths out in play to get that Cleave cheated out through the Elder. We don't really need the life gain, but let's definitely cheat Cloths out. Devotion's up there, so it's in play. Protection on most of our field from Storm's Wrath. They have 7 for the Sea God. as well as, you know, Mythos of Eluna. So they could take a Gargaroth, fight the Elder. That gets rid of Cloyths. We lose our red mana for Cleave. Right? Left Strike Beasts. That's fine. That's all the mana. What? We will toss this passage. Add our mountain. Cheating it out that way. Does this go away? I would hate for it to, so let's just use it. That's a big hit. Let's just keep drawing. Big hits as well with Trample. Gargaroth should trade with Gargaroth, I'm sure. No? What? Interesting. We do have chip damage through our God of Destiny, but the Kraken could take it eventually, or the Sea God. They gain life with their Gargaroth. Down to 5. Again, Petty Theft is our arch enemy here. Luckily, we've got this Questing Beast in pocket with haste. Okay, Cleave's Gonzo. That must mean no Petty Theft. Into the sideboard again with another Fae that would use all but 1 mana. We have a really nice hand. A secondary Clover. Oh no. Right? Down to 3 mana. I think we just start laying damage in on them, right? We've got plenty of land. And then the beast should have us survive. We could cleave again. This leaves us with 3. Cloyths comes out, I believe. Which will drop this. No, it does not. Ooh. Let's play Heliod because it can't get wiped by Storm's Wrath. Doesn't really have any benefit here, but we're just getting stuff out of our hand. Here comes the Petty Theft, doubling down. 3 of them. I guess we should have played later on. Heliod stays on play. Discarding a Cleave. They're at 3. This Questing Beast has got to save us. How do we get rid of that Sea God? The Gargaroth Cleave? Oh no. It's got to be the God of Destiny for chip damage. And we need to, now before he can start attacking us, just clear that 8/8, right? And then the chip damage should do the rest. Or we wait for them to attack. They'll get another chance to draw. Let's go for it. Just the trade, that's fine, right? We have nothing to tap. Well, I guess. I don't think we'll get our devotion that high. This is where it gets tricky, though. And this is what I was worried about. Is that double Fae, Barrier Breach. They have Indestructible. Ugin, though. Ugin will get them. Interesting. We could top deck a beast with 5.26%. Fae for the blocker. We do 2 damage. Straight up. Oh, it's exile enchantments, not destroy. So yeah, they're gonzo. Woof. This is messed up, right? What I would give for a Questing Beast right now. We've got an Ugin to deal with, and he gets to take one of our things. So I'm debating whether we just pass, let this fizzle, and face whatever's going on. Whatever we play, it's just gone, so... So after he's taken the land, we flash the Cleave in for full cost, just to the battlefield. Now it only costs 3. Because we have no attackers, so... it's better just to get it in play. Ugin doesn't kill the Clovers. Oh no. Nice. This is going downhill quickly. Could have played the draw engine first, so they must be sitting on a petty theft. Still avoiding Ugin. Let's try to play the land from the top of the library. Negative. We force Ugin with the Frondland, because if he doesn't, then we can tap creatures. Alright, triple borrower. This is my worst nightmare here. The only thing that stops this is a Whirlwind of Denial. This game's gonzo. We got close, down to 3, right? Has this been cast and is in exile? I can't tell. Is that petty theft active, or are these just brazen borrowers? If it's... he's up to 9 here, too. Good game. Adventure, man. So good. What a life to have lived. We did our best. Sadly, it's nowhere close enough. Let's force the Ugin minus, maybe? If that's possible. I mean, he just can kill us with the beast. Probably just step on us as well. Cry. Honestly, Brazen Borrower through Lucky Clover is too much, man.
The axiomatic structure of reality is surprisingly flexible.
Big shout out to the Arena Assistant. Link down below in the description. Check it out. It's the one that says Overwolf. And it will take you directly to the page that directs you, you know, how to install it and use it. It's pretty cool. We get pretty close. Our opponent down to 26. We're at 35. So it just goes to show how much value they're getting. They're 10 cards ahead of us. We can keep this, draw a mountain, scry, and then play our Heart of Keld. One mountain. One scry. 4th lance, perfect. Probably a Woe Strider organically from the hand, or a priest. Village Rites wants the draw. Ooh, there's a vessel. Removal. Nice. To the sack again. Bastion of Remembrance in play. Okay, not the worst. They have a land, which we could ramp with. Right? Is Bastion of Remembrance really that big of a deal for us right now? I don't think. Let's ensure that we can pull that secondary mountain next turn. We also get life gain through the God of Destiny if we are not ramping. Woe Strider can be played. Call the Death Dweller. Vessel's a 5/5. This is damage from the Bastion, I believe. Nope. Alright. Let's snag that. Take this. We're going to lose that. And we don't have enough. So we will just make use of it now. With an Elder Gargaroth, right? Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We need one more devotion. for the God of Destiny out. Self-mill's fine. We do have the blocker for the 5/5, which is nice, so if there's no removal, we're fine. Another Call of the Death Dweller. Interesting. We're still okay, right? It's a lot of chip damage, but we can nuke it at any point. We could push to 5, which, I mean, won't do us any good this turn. We don't really need the damage, though. Just all the resources we can get. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? The best use is our Vivien. The God of Destiny comes out as well. Let's play Vivien. Just spend it efficiently, keeping the haste in hand.
I'm bold as a brushway, so brace yourself.
Let's play Reach just in case they remove our Gargaroth. No attacks. We need all of our defenders. Lurrus is nice. Nothing for them to play. Sack the vessel, replay the vessel with Lurrus. That's a good play. It gets sacked for another damage here. Nice little cycle. We do have Indestructible, so... Oh, it's got Menace. Isn't that annoying? So does this. Yep. We can still -2.
You fight like a hatchling.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's no need for that. Any creatures we need to get rid of? So let's get rid of that Woe Strider. And play the lands. We would play something for 3, which would be our Heliod. -2, we die, we get the emblem. But now when we play our Questing Beast, we get to search for something. And I believe it's the Heliod we want for the life gain, right? I mean, the Burrower does unlock the Cleave for us. Let's take Heliod instead. I wouldn't mind trading with a 5/5 flyer. Right? The Archfiend's vessels go to exile after, so they're not replaying them over and over and over, which is okay. Trident is okay. Just gaining life. The Death Touch is annoying. Right? Luris isn't attacking, the Flyer's not attacking, it's just this 2-1. And we can give ourselves life gain. 5, we could go to 6. Is there any creatures to take? Veto. Yeah. The Death Touch is super annoying. Let's Basri it. Protection from multicolored doesn't help so much, and we already have our token here. Let's click up Basri, I guess. And then we can attack and No, we just get the 2-2. No attacks, let's hold off. We do have life gain eventually. It's slow, but we'll get there. Flooding the field. 2 Death Touch attackers that they don't use. 6 we could go to. Which I think we should. Let's just straight up Cleave for the full cost. Should we put it on Indestructible, just because it's unstoppable? The Death Touch... Or the Trample will be good here too. Let's go Trample. Land, Scry, land can go. Our 8/8 can attack. Let's gain 3 life. That's going to trigger our Heliod. And we can put another counter on it. Big blocks. I don't even know. Just let the computer do it. I'm pretty sure we just get them all. Right, and then we still do 8 damage. It's a lot through the Remembrance, but it's okay. It's okay. We still have access to life gain right away. Let's just spread our counters out. Let's put life gain on Elder Gargaroth and smash in. Gain life. Put another counter on the beast, I guess, in case it dies. It comes back as a 2/2. We're gonna toss this hand. It doesn't really appease us. This looks a lot better. We'll throw a beast out. Are you ready for turn 1 Edgewell Innkeeper? No, Beloved Princess. Interesting. We're worried about exile, so, you know, the Basri doesn't much protect us from that, so let's just progress. Hopefully playing from the top next turn into a beast. 2 Gargaroths. We're looking for a Faeburrow Elder first. An Anthem. A third Gargaroth underneath. It's not what we need. I mean, Questing Beast's good. Let's not complain. We have lethal. We can also just deal 4 damage. Or, lethal on his creature is what I mean to say. Right? Just the death touch transfers to the person. Makes sense. Alright. I mean, it could be worse. Can't really block that princess, though, is the thing. 1, 2, 3, 4. We'd be dropping to 5, and I think we just need to go for it. Right? Questing Beast can go in. They can double block for the kill, but it's fine. Just take more damage. Trying to avoid any exile. Oof. Nice. It's a lot of unmitigated damage each turn. That's actually pretty good for them. That Heliod will save us. We could do our Heart of Keld. I really just want this Heliod in play for 3, and then we can hopefully grab another land off the top from our Heart of Keld underneath Heliod, and use the ability twice on both Gargaroths. Gain 12 life, potentially, and draw 2 cards. Okay. Still a huge hit, right? We're on a 3-turn timer here. 2 turns now. But we've got the life gain to offset the majority of that. Using Heliod for life gain instead of the spear, just so our Faeburrow Elder can get that increased mana. Which itself is white, so it doesn't really make sense, I guess. The Death Touch will be good. We're gaining so much life. Do we need more of it? Probably. But the card draw is so good. So are the tokens, though, kind of. Let's double draw. Gemraiser can kill the Anthem. But we need to be doing our Heliod ability. Which actually, we can't activate this turn because of the Summoning Sickness. Or can we because it doesn't tap? We should be able to. Yeah. So this dies regardless. This survives. Yeah. This has first strike. We put it on the first strike. First strike hits first. Oh, it doesn't have life gain though. Oh no, it does. That's the whole thing. And then that will trigger Heliod, and then we can put the counter onto our Gargaroth. It wasn't attacking. We just lost 6 life. We should have thought about that beforehand. That's so terrible. Oh my god. Just when we were sort of positioning ourselves to get ahead. We should have just taken it on the Gargaroth and tried to survive longer. They have lethal here. Right, protection through Alced on the Heliod, and then this attacks. They might not see it, but there's lethal there. Come on! Having pretty bad luck today. Let's try to turn it around. Taking the scry. Passage can go. Heart of Keld can stay. They obviously have something. Priority's held up. Not really too sure what it would be. Let's just get our Heart of Keld in play. Counter. Let's move past it. Maybe just an Omen of the Sea. Could be removal as well. Heart's Desire. Or, no, Heart's Desire. Heartless Act. Oh, my arch nemesis. I already know who my new arch nemesis is. It was Priest of the Forgotten Gods. Now it's Brazen Borrower. And not really the Borrower, but Petty Theft. Ugh. Let's just try to duplicate the play. Land from the hand is a great advantage. I would say keep the Elder normally, but I'm actually not sure what we need the land for right now. Let's risk it for the biscuit though. Why not? It's all about this combo, right? Faeburrow Elder into the Embercleave. So fancy. And not only that, you could go right into Elder Gargaroth as well. So there's a couple cool ways to go with it. No blocks, it's a flyer. And they've got Flash with 4 available. I'm a little frightened. I think we could still hit. We have first strike. Vivien off the top. I don't think that's great, but maybe not bad. Hopefully it'll land on top, right? Underneath Vivien. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 9 mana available. Let's try to put our questing beast out. That 100% warrants a counter. Negative. Let's try to play Vivien. That warrants a counter too. Really?
If you don't respect nature, we're gonna have a problem.
Vigilance is our key component within the deck, so leaving the flying there, whatever. And I think attacking with both First Strike and the Questing Beast's Death Touch. We've got a Questing Beast on top, so if he dies, that's okay. Really making use of the Faeburrow Elder's mana dump, which is pretty cool. Just adding 3 mana to your pool is actually pretty aggressive. There's a reason this is a rare card. And the nice thing is you can attack because it has vigilance, and then once it's attacked, you can tap it to add the mana. So it goes great with flash, great with any instances or instance spells. Alright, our opponent's totally tapped. They can attack with the Slither. Or it's our turn still. Pesky Flash playing on the wrong turn. We get bashed up. Nothing can attack us. Well, I guess the Vandal can. We can play for 4 on a Vivien minus, put something out worth 3. Does this still count as a creature from our library? It should, right? Let's get our God of Destiny in play through our Vivien's minus. If that works, we're going to try it at least. It might not because it's an enchantment, but it should because it's a creature. It's like a hybrid. Alright, we have a Dredge Bat, which can destroy Planeswalker or creature. So let's see if they go for Vivien or the Questing Beast. Let's highlight all 3 of our creatures. Kind of like make them go for those, right? They grab the Questing Beast, perfect. We have another one right on top. I do not mind. No reach, Vivien dies anyways. What am I thinking of? Interesting. Okay. Maybe we should have given reach, not vigilance.
That's it.
That's a misplay.
I'm done.
Is this game though? I'm pretty sure we can just go like this. We are able to... Oh, that's our Fawnlander's in hand. I believe we hit for 7 still. It is lethal without a block. The Dirgebat can be mutated on a few times to get some nice kills. And now we can do this at any time. So we want to end our turn, and now we're going to tap both of these creatures to tap his attackers. And then that will open up the attacking lane for us to hit again. So if they go removal, you know, we tap them, we get to hit with the creatures they don't remove, which is great. And then if they remove those other creatures, it's still it's like a lose-lose scenario. Their only option is to flood the field, go wide, or I guess the best option. Oh, we accidentally went to attackers. Whoops. Oh my lord! Don't click buttons when they light up. So we want to be attacking or tapping them right here. That's on us. Oops. We're getting hit for 7. I'm sure there's shenanigans here. A demonic embrace beats us. That's 100% on us. Maybe we'll highlight a card in our hand, like we've got some jazz going on. A happy little misplay. We do it more than you'd think. Right? So that's on us. Any power-ups? We are toast. Down to 3. So I guess, like, the life gain will really help us. We should push that out. I guess as a counter, we should have pushed that out last. More misplays. Identifying them and then moving past that is always the best, though, right? There's no instant speed field wipes available to them. Oh no, if there's a borrower here, we shouldn't have targeted the beast. Okay, that's not a flash mutate though. It's just a draw. We should have put it on the Heedbonder on X. Ah! Okay, no more misplays. Yeah, so he kills the beast now, which was a good portion of our lethal damage. But should this Sea Dasher just have come in as the chump blocker, maybe? When he targets the beast, we tap the beast to tap the Nightbonder. Okay, at least we're doing something right. Oh, the comments are gonna love this match. And then the beast is gone, yes. They have 3 mana available. I believe we go straight into combat. Even with another mutate, we're okay because we tapped them. Oh, it just does enough chip damage. We didn't even realize that. We would have been gaining life with our Heedbonder. Ah! Ah! Misplays. Misplays. Our opponent goes first. We can play our Heart of Keld, which is nice. Cleave can go. We already have a copy, and we need a red lands. The Heart of Keld can help through the Elder. Worth the Maltese. So we're looking for wipes here. This is sad days for us. We'll play our Elder first. And then we can at least tap for 2 additional lands next turn. Right, Elder Faeburrow into Elder Gargaroth. Oh? Magic is in the keywords that aren't really keywords. There's the Shatter. Okay, wow. Let's try to play land from the top. Negative. We can scry that away. Beast is active whenever we want it. I guess we should have kept it on top. Nothing really good for them to take here. We're sitting on 1, 2, 3, 4. This would be 5, so let's go tapped. Land can go. Let's keep the haste in hand. Try to pull more removal. Questing Cleave. Embercleave is going to be a lot more expensive here. And he bounces ECD, re-exiles. Big time bummer. If there's more removal, we're getting pretty serious about it. Still 4 cards available. They will be bringing back nothing next turn. I kind of want to leave Yorion alive so they can't bounce it. Treacherous Blessing. Woof. Did they drop a land? No, here's a land. Here's the Doom. Good game. It's over. I can't even click good game. I'm so upset. We sack our Elder again. It's just, I don't know how to get around it. We have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Not nearly enough. Sacks the Yorion. Brings it back with the ECD. Now that's actually something I didn't expect. Nice play. We can pack up here. I mean, there's nothing we can ever do against us at this point. We can play 1 creature a turn. Doom just destroys us. Nothing that deals with it. Redraws. Welcome to the jungle. We can tap here. Sack our Elder. Take our draw. We lose our mana. Oh man, that sucks. It'd be cool if we got to keep it into our main phase, but as the phases transfer, you always lose your mana. And, you know, we're down 2 short here. And we're just re-sacrificing our creatures every turn. I'm not really sure what the point is. 2 lands into our Elder. We have to mulligan. Still only 2. Keep 6. Toss Basri. There's no white. Scrying for the 3rd. Wow. Wants to buy land much? More Lucky Clover. I hate my life. Would hate to play anything original. Oh gosh. Double stomp it, man. You can double it up. This is a enjoyable play experience. Yeah, yeah. Just play Clover and you'll win. Double all your spells, get lots of value, draw lots of cards, crush your opponent, bans all their creatures. Wow! Look at the field state that's changed. If only we had a source of white mana in play. That would almost be good. Dumb Clover. What did you guys think of it? You know, maybe a little sloppy in some of my matches, and I think I mentioned this earlier. When you're playing 2 new decks every day, you're making 2 new decks a day and playing them. Misplays are gonna happen. You know, I've been playing Magic since Theros on paper, not a lot, and then pretty consecutively or consistently since Arena came out. So, you know, I appreciate that a game's hard enough that I don't play it perfectly within the first month, and then I'm just like, you know, running min-max routes. It's really cool to have a game that, even though a lot of the principles are tried and true and stick around, and I even mess those up still, with the new sets coming out, new mechanics, it's always changing, it's always fresh, and it's definitely been keeping me on my toes, given I think my comprehension is a little lower than normal, but with that all out of the way, I have so much fun, excuse me, and you know, just a game that I can come back to and continue to improve at. That's what I like. I like to be able to hit my head against a brick wall and slowly improve, I guess. I don't know. If it's easy, it's boring, and I don't want to play anything that's boring. So I love Magic, and I love making new original content for you guys. You know, I don't think anyone has done any Faeburrow Elder into Elder Gargaroth with the Elder Cleave as well. So it's a very unique deck that I think works very well through the Heedbonder, the Heliod, the Basri. Just the synergies within this deck are absolutely amazing. I think we're going to continue working with it, try to play without Keruga potentially, just to throw in some early game interaction, which I think could really, really help us consistently improve our win rate. Yada, yada, yada. Live every morning at 7 on Twitch. We go live at 6 on YouTube, an hour earlier, and then we're back on YouTube at 6 p.m. So 6 a.m. on Twitch, 7 a.m. on 6 a.m. on YouTube, 7 a.m. on Twitch, and then 6 p.m. on YouTube. I can't even keep my schedule straight. Never mind the thousands of cards within Magic the Gathering Arena, right? Woof. Yeah, and like a huge shout out to all of our support. Thank you guys so much for spending your time and attention here. We don't have any upgrade guides for this. It's a beefed out deck, right? Lots of mythics, lots of rares. Our only suggestion is that we want to change out Keruga and rock something else. I think the Heedbonder is our only non-rare card. I never realized that until now. That's fucked up. Pardon my language. Wow, every card in here is rare except for our Heedbonder. Woof. That just goes to show you how powerful this card is. It's sleeping with a whole bunch of rares and you don't even notice. Thanks for watching, you guys. I appreciate it. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, share to a friend. Hit me up on the other platforms. Don't forget to download MTGA Assistant. It's the greatest. You get deck stats, deck write-ups, deck videos, metagame analysis. There is the grooviest information within the Assistant, and that is in the Overwolf link description below. All right, that's it for me today. Take care, and we'll see you a little later.